Right now, Phobos, the ancient object locked in orbit above Mars, is still spiraling toward the planet, getting closer every single year, and NASA has no way to stop it. The sharpest minds at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory cannot explain where it came from or what is happening beneath its surface. And what they found inside it is the part they are afraid to say out loud. Phobos is the larger of Mars' two moons. It circles the planet at just 3,700 miles above the surface, closer to its parent body than any moon in our entire solar system. You could fly from Los Angeles to New York 3 times and still not travel as far as Phobos orbits above Mars. It was discovered in 1877, and for a century, scientists assumed it was a captured asteroid, a wandering rock that drifted too close and got pulled in. Simple, unremarkable, case closed. Then the probes arrived. What the Soviet Union's Phobos 1 and Phobos 2 missions began revealing in the late 1980s, and what NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter has since confirmed in extraordinary detail, was something no one expected. Something that doesn't fit. Something that has forced scientists to rewrite their models twice, and they still cannot explain what they are looking at. Here is what the data actually shows. Phobos is not behaving like a captured asteroid. It should be solid, dense, rocky, ancient debris with a consistent interior. But when researchers measured its density, something came back wrong. Phobos is less dense than water. That means somewhere inside this moon, somewhere between 25 and 30% of its total volume, is hollow or riddled with empty voids or something we don't have a clean name for yet. A captured rock does not come out hollow, and the surface makes it worse. Running across Phobos in parallel lines are grooves, hundreds of them, carved in sets, perfectly spaced grooves that current geological models say simply should not exist. They are not impact craters. They are not erosion channels. Some researchers propose they are fracture lines from stress, but the geometry is too regular, too deliberate. Then the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter photographed something that stopped the room. A monolith. A single, rectangular object jutting 90 meters out of the Phobos surface. Standing alone, perfectly upright, casting a hard, clean shadow across flat terrain. The natural explanation is that it is a boulder, a large piece of rock ejected by an impact and lodged into the ground at an angle. That is what NASA publicly said. But here is what they left out. The surrounding terrain is flat. There is no impact site nearby large enough to source it from. The shape is not irregular the way a tumbling rock would be. The corners stay defined across multiple image passes at different sun angles. And geologists who have written about it in the formal literature, not in blogs, not on forums, describe it as unexplained in peer-reviewed papers. But that is not even the part that worries them. Phobos is falling, not slowly, not metaphorically. Every single year it descends approximately 1.8 centimeters closer to Mars. The tidal forces pulling it in are understood. What is not understood is the rate. The decay is faster than the models predict, not by a rounding error, by a margin that requires either unknown internal properties or an object that has been altered in ways we have no framework for. Here is the part they are afraid to say out loud. In 2010, a team at the European Space Agency ran the orbital numbers again from scratch. To match the observed decay rate, Phobos would need to be partially hollow, with a shell roughly 100 meters thick surrounding large interior voids. The math works. The physics works. What does not work is the part where a natural moon forms that way. No known mechanism in planetary science creates a hollow moon. But here is the strange part. It shouldn't be possible at all, and yet someone already said it decades ago. In 1959, Soviet astrophysicist Iosif S.H. Klovsky ran his own calculations on the orbital decay and published a conclusion openly. The only explanation he could not eliminate was that Phobos was artificial. He later walked it back under intense political pressure, but the numbers he used have not changed. And in 1988, the Soviet probe Phobos 2 detected a massive elliptical shadow, elongated, structured, moving near the moon just before the probe went permanently and inexplicably silent. No follow-up dedicated mission has returned to Phobos since. That was 38 years ago. We have an object orbiting Mars with the wrong density, a surface covered in geometry that matches no known geology, a standing monolith with no source, an orbital decay that outpaces its own physics, and a probe that went dark after seeing something we never explained and never went back to investigate. None of these facts are disputed. Every single one of them is in the published literature. What is disputed is what you are allowed to conclude from them together. The James Webb Space Telescope cannot observe Phobos. Too close, too small, wrong orientation, and NASA's next Mars missions are not aimed at it. So here is what we are left with. A 27-kilometer object, 3,700 miles above Mars, spiraling inward at a measurable rate, with properties that no natural formation process fully explains, and not one crewed mission, not one dedicated probe aimed at answering the question since 1988. What are they waiting to find?